Okay, so I'm so tired. Just ran to Lowe's and got a new metric Allen wrench set because I cannot find the Allen wrench that I've been using. I think I did. Did I just find it? Okay, I must be losing my mind at this point because that wasn't anything. There was nothing there. I am so annoyed right now. So I cannot find the specific Allen wrench that I need. Hey guys, so today I want to talk a little bit about the challenges that I have faced so far with the van build. I don't want to wait until the end when I'm on the road and the van is done and I've kind of slowly forgotten all the terrible things that have happened, because then I won't be able to help you guys if you're doing a van build or you're considering doing something like this. I just want to put out there what I've gone through so that maybe it'll help you to not do the same things. So let's get into it. The first thing that I did that was wrong was having a cheap mindset. So I went into this van build, to preface, I went into the van build thinking it was just going to be to travel in, half the year, occasionally, like go see my parents, do some trips. Then it turned into I'm living in it full time. And so then it kind of changed things, honestly. I was originally not going to have an air conditioner and then decided to put an air conditioner in, which you may or may not know takes a lot of power. And so in the beginning, I was trying to build this thing on the cheap. I was going to buy a new battery. The guy that previously owned this had some lights in, some like an inverter and some things. So I was just going to reuse like what he had. However, then once it was like, wait, if I'm going to be taking Milo with me and I'm going to be going to Texas, I know that I'm going to need better temperature control. And so I also was concerned about heat. And I didn't necessarily want to install a diesel heater or get that in. I don't know. I just didn't feel comfortable with it. And so I purchased an AC unit that also has a heater to it. Hopefully it works well enough. I don't know. We'll find out this year. But so that being said, it turned from utilizing mostly what was in here and buying, maybe just used things to build out this inexpensive but cute van, turned into needing to purchase basically an entire new electrical system, which if you don't know anything about van building, and I didn't know much about it, I've never built out a van, I never dealt with 12 volt electric. If you don't know anything about electric and you have to try to learn, it is overwhelming. It honestly, I think it took a couple years off my life to try to figure this out on my own. I probably should have, and moving forward, I would have gone to an expert and just said, here, do the electric. Don't ever want to do this again. Tell me how you really feel, Jody. So that being said, I'm still in the middle of it. I just got the solar panels installed yesterday. And so I plan on connecting everything this week, crossing my fingers and hoping that it all works. I'm gonna have my brother check it out and just take a look over it, and so we're just moving forward with it and hoping for the best. So when I was actually considering just reusing, I had already a couple years ago purchased a couple flexible solar panels from EcoFlow, and I already had an EcoFlow battery power bank, so I was just gonna use that. So Craig and my brother actually they sealed the flexible solar panels to the roof. They were two 100-watt solar panels. Obviously down the road, a month or two later, when I decide to install the AC and I need a bigger system, 200 watts is not going to cut it at all. So then I had to decide, well, now what? I only have so much space up here. I would have had to either put a 400-watt panel in the front and only, and then they also say don't mix manufactured solar panels together. And so it was just this whole thing where I was like, what am I going to do? So moving forward, I would not have sealed those panels to the roof. It's just a permanent install. I tried getting them off. I tried using this saw thing, and it like a chain, not a chainsaw. I didn't go that crazy with it. It was like we built this like string thing and it had a couple handles. I actually purchased one too, but anyway, didn't work. So they're up there and they are underneath the other solar panels that I ended up purchasing from Vanity. So that was a waste of money. I probably could have sold those along with the power bank, because the other thing I did was the power bank I had, I was like, well, this is fine for like, you know, a week-long camping trips, but if I'm gonna be living in here, I need more AC power. I didn't want to run everything off the 12 volt. So essentially what I have now is I have an EcoFlow system that's going to be my 120, and then I have the 12 volt system, which is going to run the AC, the lights, the fridge, all that. So I kind of have two systems, which honestly I don't hate. I kind of like that. I have a backup one way or the other. However, I did purchase a bigger power bank from EcoFlow, and that was not cheap either. So that's not a cheap date, along with the alternator charger and and a portable solar panel. So that has its own 200 watt solar panel. Then I'm going to have 600 watts on the roof that go to my 12 volt system. So fingers crossed it all works. In the end, I spent way more money than I should have, and I just consulted an expert or had them do it. The other thing that I would change is the bunk windows. I love my bunk windows. They're great. They work really well, but they're too small. Like, I didn't realize the measurements and how tiny these windows really were until I put them in, and I was like, wow, those are some pretty tiny windows. Now I feel like blessed that I have windows, and I love that they open and they're sliders, and that's great. So I'm not like super disappointed, but slightly disappointed, wishing I would have gone a little bit bigger. Something I learned like months into doing this and working on the electric, and I am obviously been taking my time because I don't know, well, I work, and it's just been taking a while. It took a lot of brain effort, honestly, to figure out the electric, and I felt like I couldn't really move forward much without the electric. However, we did build the bed, and we built a desk originally on the passenger side, and then the vanity that I'm using for the kitchen was on the driver's side. Then we also installed the battery banks for the 12 volt system on the driver's side. Also the fridge, I'm going to be on the driver's side. What I learned by going through groups on Facebook was there's a thing called weight distribution that you should be concerned about when you're doing your build, which means you should try to distribute your weight evenly in the back of the van as much as possible. Well, once I learned that, I was like, oh my gosh, I have everything on the driver's side, like everything heavy on the driver's side. I think I should probably do something about this before I actually install the vanity and move forward. So decided to move the vanity to the passenger side. Now I have to cut it down. We already uninstalled the desk that Craig had built me. I'm going to have a dinette set over here, which will turn into an extra bed, which is perfect. I really actually need that more than I ever would have needed a desk. So I love that. So it's turned into a good thing, but oh my God, we already built things and have already taken them out. I guess this is just what happens when you're doing something new and you've never done it before. You don't know what you're doing, and then you learn things as you go. Honestly, and the vanity that I am going to have to cut down and install, I probably shouldn't have purchased that in the first place. It's a manufactured vanity that's typically used in a bathroom, like a 2-sink vanity. I love it. It's got huge cabinets. It's got drawers in the center. They're soft close, but it is heavy. And that is not what you want in a van build. And when I purchased it, it was when I was like doing it on the cheap, and it was like $150. I bought it off of Craigslist, I almost said. I bought it off of Facebook Marketplace. That shows you my age. And yeah, honestly, I probably shouldn't use it, but I love it. And I honestly think it's gonna be perfect. I purchased a big sink to go in it. So I guess I'm just saying that there's give and take, and I'm just not willing to let this one go, even though we could have built something far lighter. And the last thing that I will say, which has been a bigger challenge than I thought, is time. I didn't realize the amount of time that each thing would take and how many things will not go the way you think they're gonna go. From the littlest things, installing the solar and your arms can't fit under the rack. installing the rack and you lose the freaking Allen wrench that you can't find for like 2 days, and you got to go searching at Home Depot for to buy another one. You think you're looking for a millimeter one, but really it was actually just a standard one. And I am not a carpenter. I don't really know these tools that well, so it just takes a lot longer to figure things out, and it's so taxing on your brain, your body, going up and down the ladder, and that I love. I actually like being physical, so like I haven't minded the actual physical work of it. It's the mind power that it has taken to think through all of these things and then have to think through the steps of which you're installing these things or doing these things. So that I'm not really accustomed to, and I am not as good at it as I wish I was. Leading to my last point is that doing this van build, I just can't be perfect, and I like to try to be as perfect as possible with things. Not everything, but I have a little bit of perfectionism to me, and so I do want things done right. I will obsess over things even after they're done and be like, maybe I should have done this, maybe I should have done that. Craig was like, basically when we took out the desk, he's like, if you change one more thing, like, I'm not helping you. I'm not meaning to, it's just I'm learning as I'm going, and it's like, wait a second, maybe if I do this would be better. Oh, it's just been a lot. Would I build a van out again? Probably not. I don't think I will ever. To be honest, I'm super excited, and I think I'm going to love it once it's done, and I'm going to feel so good that I did this and I learned so many things. But I do not want to do it again in the future. I will have enough money to just purchase an already built van, and that is the way that I would go. And I would purchase one off of not someone that had just built their first van. So when I sell this in like 4 or 5 years, don't go back and watch this video. I'm just kidding, kind of. That being said, I'm going to sum this video up by saying that I have a new deadline for getting this van done, August 12th. Today is July 22nd. Ooh, happy Leo season. That's me. Hey, let's hear you roar. And August 12th is in about 3 weeks, and I need to have this ready to go as much as possible because I have 3 trips that are going to be almost consecutive coming up after that. Starting that following weekend. So that is my deadline. I am pushing forward, and now that the electric is like halfway installed, I'm hoping that things will go faster. So keep your fingers crossed. I hope that you continue to follow the journey, and I will see you down the road.